we're glad to have an independent filmmaker with us, Enobong Omon, who's a director-producer of Baby Lion Productions and Device Ltd. Enobong, Happy New Year.
Happy everything.
Exactly.
Nice to meet you,
everything. Happy filmmaking. You're welcome.
Okay.
You take a seat. So
Thank you.
Look, I've been eager to talk to filmmakers to get their thoughts on how they think filmmaking will be impacted. What did you make of that? What did you make of Mira?
So I saw it on my timeline yesterday, and I think it's brilliant. At the same time, it does lack a certain level of elements for filmmakers, but for non-filmmakers,
it's amazing.
It's a revolutionary act entirely. You could just sit at home and put things together and you have a film and you're a director. But yeah, that's it.
You see that? This is why we brought you on the show. So you're saying to your director's eye, what we're seeing on the screen now, what our viewers are seeing, as a director, you can pick out certain things and say there's something missing here.
Most definitely.
But to the untrained eye, it's the best thing since sliced bread. They say, oh, the technology is amazing.
It's great because you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Even though as a filmmaker, I know for sure that while he was constructing those images and generating them, he would still take them out and work on some things, some sequences on an editing software, which is still going to make you work on it. It's not like he's bringing it up like abracadabra. Like you still have to sequence it, you have to time it, you have to cut it. It also lacks emotion.
Right.
It's very plastic. So that's the human center that we cannot destroy. It can't go entirely. So filmmaking grows with technology, and technology has to be merged somehow for it to evolve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does, from a cost basis, so we all know how much it costs. Well, you're going to tell us. We're going to talk. We'll get into that later on. But are there cost savings here? If you would decide to use Kling or whatever AI software, can you talk about? Would there be any cost savings for you?
Yes, it would cut a lot of corners, no doubt.
Yeah.
It would save costs. But then if I was going to work with technology, I would adapt it to my pre-production and post-production.
Okay.
That's, like I said, the editing. Editing is for the post-production and all of that, the sound and all of that, the images. That's the editing part. The transcription, if I need subtitle, yes, technology can come in for that. But when it comes to the creativity, AI can't necessarily tell your story the way it should come out, but it can give you an idea. So yes, it could cut corners around the edges, per se.
Okay, so what a lot of folks have been talking about, of course, is job losses. This week alone, I mean, billions of dollars lost in the stock market because Anthropic released this new AI tool for Claude, which was doing things in the legal profession and financial profession, So for filmmaking, though, who could theoretically be at risk? Whose job could be at risk when you look at this type of movie and you saving costs?
Okay, so I would say anyone that is not evolving with technology, your job is really in jeopardy in a way, because 10 years from now, technology is going to be beyond what we have right now.
Yeah.
And for units like in filmmaking, we have units like grip units. Grip units are the people that, pick up those heavy equipments and mount them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Introducing innovative skills of getting that done, except your, manpower and doing all of that. That's also you evolving in technology. I'm not just calling one unit, but there are several units. Even directing, you need to evolve with technology in a way, so it can also put you in the game, and you could have an upper hand. So yeah.
Does this close the gap, the skills gap? So I'll tell you this: I love filmmaking. I love what you do. I think it's a fantastic feature.
It's hard work.
Yes. Okay. Good. So can I just wake up tomorrow and say, okay, I want to be like an Enobong now, and I can now make a short film? Does it close the gap between?
Yes and no. So anyone can create content these days.
Yeah.
That's what we are evolving with. That's the beauty about technology.
Yeah.
It helps with the gap. Does it bridge it? Not entirely. The gap still remains the gap, because there is a difference between a seasoned professional and someone that's just creating content out of softwares they've discovered and the new technology, because you're being taught the principles, you're going to schools, you're learning these things, you're adapting to it from your mistakes you've made and also applying technology. You have more advantage than a regular person that is just creating content by what they see every day.
Okay, perfect. On that note, let's switch gears. We're still talking about AI, but let's switch gears slightly.
Okay.
Honest answer is filmmaking a lucrative profession in Nigeria? It can't, you know.
Okay, so there is art in filmmaking and there is business in filmmaking.
Right.
And you can't let go of either. So by the time you let go of any of those factors, you find out that you're just a basic storyteller.
Yeah.
You're just passionate. You're just born to tell stories,
right.
which some people say. And I was in that category for a moment, and then I snapped out of it because if you do not know your target market, if you do not scale your story and know who you're selling it to, if you do not know what content goes for your customer, you don't know your customer base, you don't even know the nature of it, you're definitely just telling stories. It's not sellable. It might just sit on a shelf and take dust for a while. So it is lucrative when your creativity meets strategy. Okay,
great. So you wear multiple hats. You're a director, you're an independent filmmaker, you're a director, you're a producer. Are you making, for somebody who wants to get into this industry, are there more avenues for income when you wear multiple hats as opposed to just being an actor or just being a sound engineer, or, you know, how?
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought about it that way. But what I would say is, when you're starting, wear all the hats you can wear. Okay. But when it gets to telling the principal photography, when you're on set and you have to tell that story, you must collaborate, you must go into specialization, you must give those hats to the people that have worn those hats or wear those hats professionally. Because there is a huge beauty. I wouldn't say, it's beautiful when everybody comes together and you give that value to the story you're making. You cannot film and direct and act. You can't wear all those hats. So when you have people that are specialized there, when you have collaborations from these people, them embracing their community with your community, the affiliations are just boundless. So it helps. Wear the hats as long as you can wear it. Don't burn yourself out, because you can burn out if you do not, delegate at some point.
Okay, I don't know if you went to film school here or overseas, but looking at because you talked about knowing your audience, how to tell a story, and so on and so forth. So are and I know South Africa is a big competitor here, right? So what's your assessment of the film schools, whether public or private level, private sector, film schools in Nigeria?
This is what I'll say. The best film school is on set. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to experience, jump into the water. But apart from jumping into the water immediately, you also need foundational training. That's what film schools do for you overseas, local, anywhere. That is what film school does for you. It tells you the use of each department. It tells you how to tell that story. It shows you how to break that rule still according to the rules, because art is subjective. So you would know how to tell it. You would, by the understanding of how it works, you know what to do with it. So do both. Go on set, watch the making of films, the ones that are online, the ones you can get access to, have conversations with people, and do the best you can do. Okay,
and maybe I'm going back to the AI thing and cost savings now. We're an import-dependent country. We import a lot of our equipment and so on and so forth. The cost of building a film studio, is that still pretty gargantuan with the dollar moving or Naira? Well, the Naira has been stable for the last year, but there was a big devaluation in 2023 and so on and so forth.
So when you're dealing with someone with mood swings, you need to you need to have wisdom, a lot of wisdom. And if you know you're not affiliated into selling equipment or renting it, you could cut that cost into the production. I would strongly advise that. So use that money and get more equipment and film. And when you have enough value for that, if it is still in your heart to own those equipment, because the equipment evolves, it's just like technology. Equipment, you could get Red 1 today and Red 1 is not, the it thing. It's just going to sit there, or you get another money to buy Red 2. But instead of doing all of that, determine what your film needs. Does it need a red? Does it need a black magic? What does it need? Does it need an ARRI? Does it need an IMAX camera? Rent it, split that cost. If you were in another territory that has less of the mood swings, go for it. Okay.
Good advice there. All right, now you're independent. There are folks that are with studios and stuff like that. It's almost like the music industry with independent artists versus those signed to labels and stuff. When you've made your products and you want to put your product on the market and you want people to go and watch it, talk to us about, do you go the theatrical routes that have to deal with distributors and or streaming? You have seen the news with
Yeah.
Netflix, Warner Brothers, and Paramount.
Yes.
And all that. So what's your theatrical streaming? How do you see that when putting out your product?
One word, scalability.
Yeah.
Again, you have to scale. When you scale your film, when you scale your product, you know what market it targets. You know where it's going. Is it event-driven? Then take it to cinemas. Everyone is going to like event-driven stories. They're going to go for it. Is it just a story that is, let's say, it's a biographical story or something like that? It's a slow burn. Go for streaming platforms, by all means. I mean, there are two different deals. The money are two different things.
Yeah.
It's different signs to both things.
Yeah.
But then when you scale your product, it helps you know where it's going to.
Okay, so the summary of this discussion, because we're out of time, AI is making advancements, but the human touch is still very much alive and
Very
well
much,
in
100%.
filmmaking in Nigeria.
Yes.
And you can also make money on filmmaking. You just have to know your path.
Yes, you just have to know your path.
Great conversation. We'll have to have you back to talk about other stuff.
I can't wait. All right. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was an amazing conversation. Enobong
Yeah.
Omon, who, of course, director, producer, Baby Lion Productions and Device Ltd. Thank you for joining us on the Global Business Show.